Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, whether you're new or returning. Thank you so much for taking your own time to check out this early movie review that I got sent early from the awesome folks at Hulu. So thank you for sending me over the screener to a movie coming out on June 15th called Jagged Mind. Directed by Kelley Kali and starring Maisie Richardson-Sellers and Shannon Woodward. Jagged Mind tells the story of a woman plagued by blackouts and strange visions, discovering she's stuck in a series of time loops. I would just want to give a quick thank you to all my awesome Patreons who really help to support the channel. If you're interested in joining Patreon yourself, the link is down below in the description box. You can also shop and buy some merch, and I would love to see you over on my Patreon, where you can access to movie reviews, adventure days, vlogs, and Patreon watch parties, and so much more content. Now let's get back to the video. So there's a reason before why I kept the plot quite vague, because I definitely want to, of course, keep this spoiler free, but I also think that the full synopsis basically kind of ruins this movie, and also the full trailer for that matter also ruins this movie. What can I ultimately say about Jagged Mind and my overall thoughts on it? Well, I could definitely say that there's some positives here. There's elements that I really enjoyed, and I think that this movie overall is good. But unfortunately, I don't think it hits those highs where this is an outstanding movie and fully reinvents the formula of kind of time loop based movies. So going into some positives immediately regarding Jagged Mind is both of our actresses, who, by the way, as a quick point here, both do identify as queer, which is awesome, because the thing is with this movie, of course, Billie and Alex, Maisie Richardson-Sellers and Shannon Woodward, of course, are queer in real life, and they're playing queer characters, so it's great to have that representation first and foremost, and I can only applaud Kelley Kali for directing these women, and of course the casting as well. So in this movie, okay, you've seen movies probably like this before, like Happy Death Day and Source Code, and there's so many others. And with this one, it is more based into the horror genre, where we don't have as many kind of time loop based movies in this particular genre. I feel like they add something in here that does kind of give that a little bit of a twist to that already known formula that we've seen before. And like myself, I actually enjoy these kind of based movies, so I also think that the two actresses give really good performances. I can't really say that they're like massive standout performances or anything that's going to kind of break like really high grounds for both of these respective ladies, especially with their kind of background experiences, with Shannon previously working on Westworld and then doing motion capture for The Last of Us Part 2, whereas Maisie has previously done, you know, Legends of Tomorrow, and I've seen her personally in The Kissing Booth 2 and 3. Cinematography also here is done nicely. It's well shot movie. It's a well made movie. It certainly has that kind of indie feel to this, and I think that is definitely one of the things that this movie was leaning into. Maybe the budget, or their lack of budget that it had, because you could definitely kind of tell that there was some kind of like indie-ish feel to this, not in a bad way to an extent. I'll get to that in a little bit, but you could definitely tell that that was a factor in here. There's also a couple of kind of practical effects used. There's not many, but there's a couple, and I think the ones that are used are done good. You know, they're believable. It's not any like kind of terrible CGI or anything, so I'll definitely give them props for that. It was just a nice easy watch, less than an hour and a half without the credits. It's about an hour and 18 minutes, although it's advertised like an hour and 26, so it's got some quite lengthy credits there, but an hour and 18 movie. At the time flew by. I was entertained enough to the point where I was certainly intrigued, and definitely our two actresses was just holding up the material that they were given. If I'm going to go into the negatives and why I can't say that this is a truly great movie, or one that I would say for you personally to rush out and watch immediately, is, as I previously stated, about this being a time loop movie, and it does something a little bit different to reinvent that formula. I feel as if there isn't enough tension here to fully, you know, buy into the two characters and fully buy into everything that is being presented in our first, second, and third act, to the point where it kept me that fully engaged and, you know, want to like shout at the screen and shout for the characters and really just emphasize how I was feeling in that moment, and wanting to see like a particular ending. I didn't get those feelings, which is unfortunate because, as I mentioned, with the twist that this does take on the time loop concept, it's a unique-ish twist to an extent, but not enough to really, like, blow people out of the water. Now, don't get me wrong, you may be blown out of the water, and that's great if you are. For me, I just wasn't, unfortunately, and I just feel as if, as I mentioned before, with this being kind of like an indie-ish kind of based budget that it had, I feel like with a bigger budget, some of the effects that they probably could have done with these, strange visions and blackouts and the moments that we do have, I feel with that little bit stretch more of the budget, it could have really been emphasized more to really help us buy in to these moments that our character Billie is facing throughout the movie. But with those constraints, you certainly kind of feel like that, but it also feels a little bit clunky and messy at times, which I think is unfortunate. There is a moment in here where there is a part where Billie does have a friend. Again, I don't want to say it for spoilers, and kind of with this, something happens and it just leaves that kind of just completely kind of like open. You don't really see like any kind of fully conclusion to that, which I know I'm kind of being vague, but I kind of have to be. And I think that was just a shame, because I would have liked even just a quick moment to maybe see how something could have wrapped up maybe there. But it just feels like it was just an open thing and it was just kind of forgotten about. Jagged Mind comes out on Hulu on June 15th. Are you going to check it out? Or maybe you already have, and that's the reason why you're checking out this review. Well, I'll leave your comments down below and let me know what you thought of the movie. As for an overall score, I'm going to score Jagged Mind between a 2.5 and a 3 stars out of 5 stars. So thank you so much for just checking out this review. I honestly really appreciate your time and you coming over to my channel. As I mentioned, if you're new or returning, but if you are brand new or returning but you're not subscribed as of yet, there's a red button down below, completely free of charge. It takes you like a second or two, and I'd love to see you again on more future videos. But until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.